The fate of the Deputy President Gachagua and CS Kindiki after the presidential appointment lies so much on the constitution, and a lot of developments have been taking place in the state and in the government recently. For instance, the reinstatement of part of the security of the deputy president, and also the failure of the CS Kindiki to come out and take his position and maybe explain his stance regarding the recent presidential. And that means that even the office of the CS Interior still remains unknown who actually is the CS, because the president made his appointment expected to lapse within 14 days, and currently we have an ongoing court battle. And that means that it is upon the court to speed the processes, but due to the delays that are coming from the refugee side, that means that it is delayed, may also affect the process of governance in the country. You could ask yourself, what is the fate of deputy president in the court battle? From the inside plans that you need to know is that upon the reinstatement of the deputy president means that there's a possibility the office of the deputy president is still held by the impeached regarding Gachagua, and his service to reinstate the security for the deputy president. And that means that a lot of developments and have been made, and that shows that in as much as people are expecting the deputy president to maybe carry his belongings back from the office and go home, it will be quite interesting to realize that the court might also overturn some of the decisions made by the both houses of parliament. So what Kenyans should expect that some of the decisions that were made by the courts, some of the decisions that were made by the Senate and the National Assembly, some of them could be declined by the court. And you realize that at the Senate, 6 allegations were declined from the Senate. However, the Constitution says that even one mistake, if it has been authentic, that is an enough ground to impeach the deputy president. So the court will weigh where justice should be served and look into the cases, some of the allegations, and which ones are of great weight for an holder of an office. As for the CS Kindiki, failure to, it is required constitutional that before you are sent into another state office, you must resign from your previous post. And so far so good. The resignation letter has not been made clear. The CS office. That means that from the inside plus the president had informed the CS to keep on hold, to allow the rule of law to take its course, not to be in a hurry. And that is why sometimes you realize that the head of state is trying to balance both sides and ensuring that he does not lose trust and confidence from both sides. And the fate of Rigathi Gachagua and CS Kindiki relies so much on the rule of law, relies so much on the constitution. But there are possible grounds that inasmuch as the Senate impeached Rigathi Gachagua and the National Assembly approved it, clearly the court has power to overturn the impeachment process and say that inasmuch as Rigathi Gachagua will have to withdraw from holding an office, but it will take time. He will still have a political fate, a political chance to maybe bid or take part in other future politics. However, when it comes to the CS Kithure Kindiki, then the scrutiny of the due process will have to be considered. If the process was not followed well, then it means that the court will send feedback to the president to reconsider following the constitutional process before making any further appointment into the office of the deputy president, unless he will have to reconsider his choice or reconsider his decision by coercing with both the houses of parliament. Because most of the decisions that were made previously were so hurried, that means that the court will have to will have to remind the executive that inasmuch as the process was hurried by the legislature, and ensure that both sides ensure that justice has been treated fairly, justice is well served according to the policies that protects the oath of office of any state officer. Many want to see the swearing in of Kithure Kindiki. You can never be sworn in as long as the court process is still lengthy. It is until the justice process is well followed and structured and well clarified, that is when the true honor of an office will be made clear. And possibly we expect that at the beginning of the first week of November, then we will be able to know who is the actual deputy president of Kenya. And out-of-court settlement is also ongoing. Some clear negotiation and mediation is taking place, and this negotiation and mediation is being conducted by some of the leaders, political figures that we all know, including some former senior politician, who is trying to deliberate and mediate the issues on who actually should be allowed to run the office of the deputy president. So you might see there are several developments from former politicians, you can see several developments from former state officers, and you may also see several developments from the opposition side. It means that currently out of the court there's something out of court settlement processes is ongoing and negotiations are taking place. That's why the deputy president had to change his approach towards the president, his communication, his public vibes against the president, because the out-of-court settlement can also be of more weight, can also give us a promising future to the deputy president who has been impeached. As for Kithure Kindiki, in as much as he could be given that chance to hold an office, there are possibility that also he might also be in a trap. The trap is the actually will hone the Mount Kenya kingpin. Who will be the Mount Kenya kingpin? Because there is a stiff rival that is escalating. Who actually should own the kingship? And for the impeached deputy president, he had been so vibrant. He had been so strong and energetic. Those who are trying to fight for the kingship pose are well tamed and well mannered, so that they can give the regime time to reorganize itself. So the fate of Kithure Kindiki ascending into the office of the deputy president would also put the future elections in dilemma. The turnout of the Mount Kenya voters could also be in dilemma, but there's a well-calculated move that in as much as that could happen maybe after the court's decision, then also a lot of changes such as political realignments may take place, whereby we expect the merging or the signing of MOUs between some of the opposition political parties, signing MOUs with the regime. And that's why you realize some of the media houses are talking about the return of the Pentagon that had took place in 2007. That will not happen, but we will have a political realignment in case Kithure Kindiki ascends into an office. Then this political realignment will exact more forces so that even if the Mount Kenya voters fail to turn out in large numbers, then the remaining gap will be filled by the political realignments that have taken place. But when Rigathi Gachagua is reinstated back to an office, then be sure of that there will be no political realignment in the Kenya Kwanza regime. There are also development that the communication between the president of the Supreme Court and the president of Kenya, the networking, the linkage, has become so poor, such that some of the decisions, CJ Martha Koome has become so much technical to understand and maybe to convince to make decisions in favor of the state. This is due to some of the failed previous promises that have delayed. So this is the time when now the executive needs support so much from the Supreme Court, but now things have changed, and that is why some of the junior politicians have turned themselves against they have begun attacking the judiciary, expecting that maybe it would coerce the president of the Supreme Court to understand that the decisions that are made by the executive are so much urgent, and they need to be resolved quickly and calm the restlessness across the country. However, in as much as this matter is before the court of law, the exercising patience has been a frequent term, a frequent word from the mouth of the Supreme Court judges, because the Constitution was not ratified in one day. It took time to ratify it, and also exacting the judicial processes will also take time for everyone to understand and interpret for the sake of today and the future generation. Finance Bill 2023-2024. The Supreme Court is expected to make decisions on its stance on the necessity of the Finance Bill 2023-2024, and from the ins and plans that are ongoing, we expect that part of the proposals made in the Finance Bill will be sent back to the government to relook into part of the Finance Bill, though it will be also given a nod that it can also function in some cases, but the matters will be returned back to the legislature. So, in conclusion, the fight between the deputy president, the impeached deputy president, and the appointed deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua and Kithure Kindiki respectively, will have to follow the court process. But now the president's power or the president's decision may also face a twist from the court. That's why everyone may need to exercise patience. As for the finance bill, also part of it may be asked for a review. A review may be requested, as long as it does not press the citizens so much. But part of it also may be given a nod to function or to be used in order to collect public funds and to help the government to run their services as normal.